Oh,
Hi, everybody.
all right. Welcome to Writing Momentum. I'm Christopher Maselli. This is my wife, Gina. How's it going today, Gina?
It's going great. I'm pretty excited. This is our first live I guess it's not the first one we've done, but
Yeah.
we're kind of ramping up to do these more regularly. So
Yeah,
this is the kickstart.
we're gonna start doing these every Wednesday is the plan. Every Wednesday around 3 p.m. Central. We're starting a little bit later than that today, but that's because we're just getting ourselves organized, getting used to all the software and all that fancy stuff. But it's been pretty fun, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And today we are getting ready to talk about something that we're both excited about, something we
Yes.
get excited about every year, and that is WriterCon, which
WriterCon.
is our favorite writing conference in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Easily our favorite. We've been going for several years, and the schedule was just released. The
Yes.
2022 schedule was just released. So there's so much to cover here, Chris. I don't think we're going to make it through the whole thing.
No, let's just look at day one. But before we do that, we just want to say this. If you are serious about your writing and you want to make sure you can write and get published and all that, there is no better place to do that than at a writers conference.
Yeah.
We have had some of our biggest breaks at writers conferences because it's at those places where you learn all these insiders tips and tricks, and you get to rub elbows with other successful writers, and you meet editors and agents, and it's a life-changing experience.
It really is. You never know who you're going to be sitting down next to when you're having coffee or when you're eating lunch or dinner or going to some of the special events. You never know who you're sitting next to. You could be sitting next to an editor who's looking exactly for what you're producing. You may be sitting next to somebody who could be a collaborator on another project. Writers conferences are not only for traditionally published writers. These are for all kinds of writers. And the thing I love about WriterCon specifically is that it touches on so many different types of writing. So Chris, help me out here with the different types of writing that if you are a writer of these different genres, you're going to find a class that's going to be
fiction, nonfiction, devotionals, screenwriting, picture books. I mean, it's really, there's usually something that covers about everything at a conference like this. Now, this year at WriterCon specifically, I know they have some thriller authors that are going to be really great that are coming, as well as, and there's also a lot of stuff on the Christian and inspirational market.
Yes.
Written in that market for years.
And screenwriters.
And a lot of this, that's right, Bob Sands.
Renee Gutteridge, our really good friend and partner in our writing moments. If you haven't heard about writing moments, hang around. We're going to let you know a little bit more about that. It's when we get together with writers on Zoom, and we have a little bit of teaching, about 10-15 minutes of teaching, and then we write together for 45 minutes. And you may be saying, well, what do I need them for? That's easy enough for me to do. But if you are somebody who is questioning, how do you make time to write? How do you figure this out? Where do I even start? I've got some questions and I don't know where to get them answered. That is what Writing Moments is for. It is when Chris and I and Renee come alongside of writers and help them with their writing and just kind of walk alongside them. And I'll tell you, it has been a fantastic, just a collaborative collaborative is probably not the right word because we're not working on each other's projects, but it's a community. It's a community that we are building, and we are small. So we really do get to know each other's projects. So that's really fun.
Yes. So be sure to join us for that. Let me show you here. This is what the website looks like. You can come on there. It's $15 a month. We get together many times during the month. We have a short teaching and some time that we can write together. But that's not why we're here today.
That's not why we're here. I got off on a bit of a bunny trail. Hang with me, guys.
She loves writing moments so much that she talks about it a lot. And I do too.
But we're talking about WriterCon.
We're
talking about WriterCon and why WriterCon is an event, a writers conference that if you are able to get there, please get there and get there in person. Get there. I know in some years in the past they've done streaming. I don't know if they're going to do any streaming this year. But it is not the same as actually being in that event.
They are recording the sessions, but they're not going to stream them live. You can get them afterward, but it costs about the same as actually going there live. And there's nothing as valuable as being at a place like WriterCon Live.
Well, let me ask you, Chris. you talk about why writers conferences are so important. Tell me one success that you had, and you've got to limit it. Just the one thing that comes to your mind when you hear about writers conferences. What's the one of the biggest successes
For
that you've
me,
ever had?
see this series of books over here, this series? Those are all because of a writer's conference. I got an 8-book contract out of a writer's conference.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't happen, for everyone at every time. It only happened at one conference that I went to.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing that can happen.
Yeah. For me, it was, I sat down across from an editor and I pitched a magazine article. And the magazine article, he didn't take that magazine article, but he took my information. And about 2 months later, I got an email from that magazine, or from that magazine, not from him, but obviously my name had been passed along. And I got the first of many articles and even a column that I ended up writing for that magazine. So all of that came about because of a writers conference.
Yeah, that's why we love writers conferences. Yeah. So WriterCon 2022 is in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, from September 2nd through 5th. So it's over Labor Day weekend. You can see that it starts in only 36 days from the time when we're recording this. So you want to get your tickets now. You can go in here, you can click get tickets now, and you can get in. But we're going to look at that schedule because that's what we're really interested in today, right?
Definitely. Let's look at the schedule. And we're going to start with just Friday because, we don't have all day here and we know neither do you. So we're going to look at the schedule and we're going to just see what is coming up. And we're a little bit biased because both Chris and I are teaching on Friday.
We are teaching on Friday.
Chris, what are you teaching?
Looking forward. We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Let's just start here at the top. We have, it starts at 8 a.m. Check-in begins, and then the orientation with William Bernhardt starts at 9, which is going to be really good. He's always very engaging as a speaker. And
well, and can I just I'm going to interject one more thing here. WriterCon in the past has been at another hotel, but it is a new hotel, new area, and I'll tell you, we have heard nothing but glowing reviews of the area and of the hotel that we're going to be in. Yes. It's the what is it? It's the Renaissance Waterford. Yes. Renaissance Waterford in Oklahoma City, and we've heard nothing but big kudos that we're going to this hotel and to this area because there's lots of coffee, which is what I need. Lots of coffee, lots of restaurants, lots of things like that. So there's within walking distance, we're going to be able to get what we need for snacks or meals or drinks.
Yeah. All right, so let's start looking at the schedule here. At 9:30 is going to start right off with talk by Maria Connor. She's going to talk about an author assistant reveals secrets of best-selling novelists. This is the kind of stuff you get at writers' conferences. Here they've got an author assistant, Maria, who's going to share insider secrets. You wouldn't get this kind of thing except for at a writing conference. So if you want to know what some of the secrets of best-selling novelists are, you'll want to attend that session.
If you want to know what an author's assistant is, you want to go to that session.
Yes.
I think that's also an important point in that as well. Some people may not realize that authors do have assistants and they work on a lot of different stuff. So
yes.
Yeah, come and check that out.
There's also an agent panel during that time. Do you want an agent? What do you need to know about publishing contracts? Yeah. These are always really good to attend because they're going to have agents on this panel that will tell you exactly why you may want an agent. And so if you've been wondering, do I need an agent? What do I have to give them? How does all that work? They answer that on this kind of panel.
Yes. And I think I haven't looked through all of these, but I think a lot of the people on here have inroads to a lot of the big publishing houses. So if you're looking to be traditionally published, this is just a primo opportunity here to come.
How about this next one, Gena? Writing nonfiction for the inspirational market.
Writing for the inspirational market. If you have wanted to break into the inspirational Christian market, that's what I'm going to be talking about this year. I'm going to be sharing about how to break in, the best markets for new writers, and how to get in, how to maybe not commit some of those unpardonable sins that will get you kicked out the door, but will actually open doors for you. So come and see me. I'm looking forward to sharing what I've learned over almost 20 years of working in the inspirational Christian market.
Yeah, and then finally, also at 9:30, you can see there's 4 sessions at 9:30. There's different tracks you can go on, and you can choose and jump between sessions as you want. There's an ABCs of writing. So I want to write, where do I start? So something that WriterCon started doing, I think it was last year, was creating a series of what they call ABC sessions. These are basically very basic sessions on writing, editing, publishing, marketing, that sort of thing. And so if you're just really starting out and you're like, I just need to know where to start, these are the sessions you'd want to hit. Molly Jebbers teaches that one.
Well, and I think, Chris, I think that's an interesting thing to touch on too. The one thing I also like about WriterCon is that you have writers who are all across the experience spectrum. You've got people who are brand new, who are just dipping their toe just barely into the water of, I think I might want to do this, or I have a book that's really been on my mind or my heart that I really want to write. Where do I even start? And they have all these questions. And then you've got really experienced authors and writers who have years in the business. So that's where WriterCon is so good, because it is such a gracious environment. If you are a new writer, I want to really encourage you. WriterCon is a great place to go. People are not going to look down on you. They are there to help new writers. They are there to help teach new writers. They're there to help encourage new writers. So I want to say that if you are a new writer, please don't let in that insecurity or intimidation keep you from coming. But on the same hand, if you're an experienced writer, come, get refreshed, get around your people. And if you've ever been to a writer's conference before, you know that you will not be sorry.
So then at 10:30, we have mysteries, writing and editing. So if you want to get into a specific genre like writing mysteries, this is the kind of session you'd want to attend on that. That's from Mary Coley. And then Jim Hinch is teaching also at that time on writing for Guideposts. Now, we know a lot of authors who have started their careers in writing for Guideposts, which is a Christian inspirational magazine, and it's considered one of the best in really the world, I would say. And the editor for Guideposts is going to be there. You'll want to hear from Jim Hinch. He's a great speaker, and you will do well listening to him.
Well, and let me tell you, Jim Hinch, we've heard him several times. Not only is he a great speaker, but he is looking for stories. The reason he is here, or he is coming to Oklahoma City for WriterCon, is that he is looking for stories. So you will get the opportunity to talk to him, and he will be very clear because he's got so much experience. Just a great man, so much experience, and really can help you either hone that or he'll even let you know clearly if it's not something that would work for Guideposts, and that's okay, because that just means that's one less place you have to look to find a home for it. So great. I always look forward to seeing and hearing Jim Hinch.
Stephen James is a thriller author, and he's a best-selling thriller author. He's always fascinating to listen to.
Great teacher, too.
You've heard how you should use 3 acts in your story, right? Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. He kind of turns that on its head a little bit. And in this session, he's going to show exactly how he does it and how thinking that new way can kind of change the way you write and storytell. So this will be a very popular session, I'm sure. Anytime Stephen James does a session, it gets very popular.
Yeah.
And then in the ABC track, our friend Cherry Fuller, she's going to teach about nonfiction. That'll be good too if you want to do nonfiction.
So much experience. She's very best-selling author, has been in the business for a long time. Really great person to learn from.
Yeah. All right, then at 11:30, we've got 4 more sessions. First, we have all about the agent-publisher relationship. So we've talked about your relationship with agents, but you may wonder, well, how do agents work with publishers? So you see at a conference like this, you can get into all those business relationships. And then our friend Frank Ball, he's talking about 7 essential elements for a captivating scene. He's a very good teacher when it comes to breaking down storytelling techniques, and so he's going to get into that in the session. That should be a good one too.
And Frank is so kind. I know he has spent a long time mentoring new writers and talking to new writers, so he's also someone that would be just a great person to just go up to between sessions and just talk to and get to know as well.
100%, 100%. Next, I am teaching on productivity secrets to 10 times your writing momentum. Yeah, this is going to be a really fun session. If you're someone who wants to maximize your writing time, you feel like I need to get more focused, I need to be able to just really write well to make the most of that little time I have, you're going to love this session because we really get into even some scientifically proven principles that you can use to make your writing do better than ever.
Well, and I think that's so important because we hear a lot about that from people. We hear a lot of people who are asking us, how do you get it all done?
Yeah.
I have so many ideas, but how do you get it done? And these are some of the tips and tricks and hacks that Chris is going to be sharing in that session.
Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. And then next we have the ABCs of publishing. Again, on our ABC track, you can also learn just about how all the publishing works, right? What about traditional publishing and vanity presses and self-publishing and hybrid publishing? It's all in that session. You're going to learn all the basics. That's always a real good one. I have taught that session before and really enjoy it because there's always some good questions that come up and you'll learn a lot.
And I think that in the time that we're in, it's so appropriate because people are really questioning, do I need to be traditionally published? Do I want to be traditionally published? I hear I have to be traditionally published and I don't know if that's what that's even about or how to break into it. Man, go to that session.
Absolutely. I'm going to skip over some of the extra. There's a lot of extra stuff that happens at WriterCon. You can have lunch with agents and authors and pitch your book and get feedback and all that kind of stuff. That's on the schedule. You can look at that more in depth yourself, but I really want to get back to the sessions. So we have another session for Frank Ball here. It's on Know the Reasons, Not Just the Rules. It says, explore some of the nuances of writing and the editing process that are largely subjective. Something that Frank does that I really like is he will take best-selling novels and he will sometimes put them up on a screen in front of the class, and then together you'll rewrite some of the paragraphs that even best-selling novels have into them. And it is so eye-opening to see the kinds of things that you can do and how you can even make a best-selling novel better. And so he gets into that kind of thing in this session.
Well, and Chris, I can't tell you how many times people have, especially new writers, ask, one, they say, I don't know all the rules. I don't know all the grammar rules. I don't know all the story structure rules. I just don't know. And they're like, that kind of inhibits them. They think, well, I don't know all the rules, so I really shouldn't try at all. And on the flip side, I've even heard people who say, well, yeah, I know there are rules, but that's not really, that doesn't really matter. My story or my book is so great that I don't have to follow any rules. And both of those, we need to find the middle ground on that. I remind my kids all the time, you've got to know the rules before you break them. And that is what Frank is going to help you figure out, is which rules can you break and which rules really can't you break. And if you break them, what does it say about you as a writer? So great session.
So you heard us mention the session from Jim Hinch above. He's the editor for Guideposts, and he talks about how you can write for Guideposts. This is a follow-up session that he does with that. I've seen him do both of these before. And in this one, he actually shares how to pitch your story to Guideposts. And just listening to him on both those sessions, if you're wanting to write for Guideposts, you can get really edge in the process just by going to those two sessions. Then we have a session on breaking into science fiction and fantasy. This will be good if you're interested in either of those genres. He has how to study the market, learn, just all about it. And he normally writes under the pen name of Lucas Flint. And so you can learn from him in that session. And then we have another ABC session. This one's on fiction. So we've had one now on writing and publishing and nonfiction and now fiction. So if you just want to go through all the basics, you can do that. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Then at 3 o'clock, this is still the first day, y'all. This is still day one. We're like only halfway through day one. Check this out.
I'm already in my mind thinking, oh yeah, I want to hit that session.
Yeah.
I want to hit that session.
I know.
For that person.
I'm making mental notes.
Yeah.
This will be so fun. All right. We have, it's going to start off with More Than a Series Bible. Okay. So what this is from Maria Connor is she talks about how you can take, when you are writing a series of books, how you can create what they call a Bible for that series for marketing purposes and training assistants and getting support staff and editing and all that sort of thing. It is really, this is kind of a structure way to help set up what you're doing to have success in your marketing. I've not seen a session like this before, a writer's conference. I'm interested to see that one. Yeah, that'll be good.
Because let me tell you, when you start getting into writing a book, and it's kind of like birthing a baby, there is so much that you are trying to think about. You're trying to make sure that it is tip-top shape, just production-wise, but then you've got to get into the marketing. And even before you do the marketing, you need to start doing some branding and set some things up for that. Mm-hmm. And so that whole process, it really is like birthing a child. So there's a lot to it, and you're thinking about a lot of different things. We have a good friend of ours right now who is, she's in the middle of a release of her book. And let me tell you, every time we talk to her, she's got several different things going that she's talking to podcasters and influencers and producing different kits for different people. And it's a big job. And here's the thing, she's traditionally published too. She is not, this is not just because, oh, well, she's independently published. No, she's traditionally published, and she is hitting the ground as hard as she can to get it out there and make it a success.
Yeah. Friend Bob Sands, he's going to teach on screenplays, and he's going to debunk some of the myths of screenwriting. I'll tell you, if you want to learn about screenwriting, if you're all interested in that, you've got to go listen to Bob. He is an entertaining speaker, but it's also super, super insightful. And I definitely recommend going to that if you are at all interested in writing for the screen.
He's such a fun person.
Yeah.
He's
got a lot of personality.
He has a lot of personality, just so much fun, so gracious. And I have been looking forward to all year. When I heard he was coming back, I was looking forward to seeing Bob again.
Yeah. Elizabeth is talking on self-editing for authors. Okay. If you are wanting to save yourself some time, go to a good session on self-editing. This should be a good one also. She's going to show you how to avoid some of the most common problems. And then again on our ABC track, ABCs of marketing in this one, and our friend Shell Harrington, who we absolutely love to hear her talk. She's just wonderful. She's going to talk about how do you market? How do you market yourself and your book? And she knows what she's talking about because she has nearly 500,000 followers on Facebook. So she knows what she's talking about, and that's a session worth going to if you're wanting to dip in, put your toes into marketing.
Yes, and well, I could go on and on. We could do a whole session just on how much we love Shell and how much we admire her.
We'll do a live with her sometime.
Oh yeah, she's so fun, and she's so creative. In fact, she's got her she is independently published, and her book Quinbloits came out last year. She's getting ready to release her second one, and just so fun and really successful in what she's doing with that. So
and then the day wraps up around 4 o'clock with a keynote from Stephen James. And oh wait, it doesn't wrap up, because then you have pitch sessions. You can go pitch your book idea to agents, to editors, to other writers. You can go to roundtables about all these different subjects: thrillers, mysteries, romance, women's fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, screenplays, nonfiction, poetry, and inspirational. I'm tired of just reading it. It's awesome. And then there's an open mic time, and then Saturday begins. So we're talking here. We're excited that the schedules come out. We're just talking about one day is all we just covered there at WriterCon. There are still 2 more full days, and then another day where they're going to have what they call kind of like a masterclass session, where they focus. They're going to have one on branding and one on fiction writing with Stephen James, I believe. And so this just looks like it's going to be a great conference. Look at all this that I did not go through yet of sessions that are going to be offered. If you are interested in going to a great writers conference, I highly recommend going to WriterCon.com check out the website. Go ahead. You can click on register now to register. You got 36 days left. They always offer the best writers conference in the Midwest, if not everywhere, in my opinion.
Well, and definitely, you know, if you're going to be there, definitely come up and you've learned about it or learned more about it because of Chris and I, and from doing these lives or through Writing Momentum, which is our website. Come up and introduce yourself. Comment on this live if you can.
Yes.
Yeah, let us know. Drop us an email. Why do you want to go? What are you looking forward to? What is your genre? Let us know. We get really excited when we see writers who are going for it. They're just, you know, they're going for making their dream happen. That is one of the things that excites me the most.
I would also like to hear what looks like your favorite session from that first day. Go ahead and post that below, and we'll. I'd like to just see what starts getting a lot of traction. I think that sounds interesting. And then, meanwhile, if you're looking for someone to write with, Gena, myself, and Renee Gutteridge, we have what we call writing moments, and we get together every single week and we write with other writers. We write individually on our own projects, but we do it together over Zoom, and we have a short time of training, about 15 minutes, and then we have 45 minutes where we just write together. And already, we've only been doing this for a couple months, and we have already, between all of us, finished literally thousands and thousands of writing words that would not have otherwise been done had we not had these writing moments. So they're certainly worth it, aren't they?
Oh yeah, and making connections, you know, getting together with other writers. Even now, several of the writers that attend Writing Moments are going to be at WriterCon this year. And so we are already looking forward to having coffee with friends and meeting them face to face, where it's just going to be a really, I'm excited. It's kind of, you know, when you get around your tribe, and I know we throw the word tribe around a lot, but when you walk into a writers conference, that's the thing that I come away with so often is, you know, there's a lot of times when writing can be a really lonely experience. I know that I have read posts, heartbreaking posts from people who say that I have a dream to be a writer. I love to write, but nobody around me supports me. And first of all, if that is you, please reach out to us, because let me tell you, you have got friends here. But also, when you go to something like a WriterCon, you walk in there and you are around people who have the same passion as you. And there is just nothing like that feeling of just complete acceptance and complete just appreciation for what you're trying to do. And we are all at different levels. And but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because here's the thing about writing is that none of us ever arrive. We are always pushing ourselves to try new things, to become better, to try new genres, to reach into new markets, whatever. We're always growing as writers because it's a creative endeavor. And so I love to get around other writers. That just is such an energizing experience. So
100%. So check that out at writingmoments.com. Also, don't forget to check out writercon.com, which is one of the best writers conferences in the Midwest. You got anything else to close us off with, Gena?
I don't think so, but thank you so much. I hope that we've inspired you. I hope you're going to be at WriterCon. I hope you check out Writing Moments and join us there. We'd love to get to meet you at any and all of those.
All right. See y'all next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.